Hello, I'm Officer David Causey with the University of North Texas Police Department, and I'm the Community Relations Officer. Today I'm going to talk to you about theft prevention and awareness and give you some tips to help keep your stuff safe. So to begin, we're going to talk a little bit about the law. So theft in general, when you talk about it, is talking about somebody taking someone else's stuff without their permission. Now the different levels depend on the value of the item that is stolen. So anything that's less than $100 is a Class C offense, which is a ticketable offense. Class Bs are anything that's over 100 but less than 750, and then Class As are 750 to 2,500, and then anything over 2,500 is a felony level offense. Now we'll talk about burglary. Burglary is a theft-related offense, but it is a criminal act. It's when someone enters into another building or habitat without the consent, with the intent of a felony, theft, or an assault. These, in general, are felony level offenses unless you're talking about burglary of a motor vehicle, which is when somebody would enter someone else's vehicle and take, say, a purse, a bag, the radio, something like that. But if they actually go into your vehicle and take something, then that's a burglary of a motor vehicle, and that is a misdemeanor offense. Now, robbery, again, another theft-related offense. It is generally considered to be theft with bodily injury. So if someone gets hurt in the process of the theft, or if a deadly weapon is displayed or used. So most people would probably think of a robbery as being when somebody walks into, say, like a convenience store, points a gun or pulls a gun on the worker and demands money or product. But it could also be if someone walks in, steals, say, batteries, alcohol, something like that, goes to leave, maybe the clerk goes to stop them, and they push the clerk and knock them down, and they fall and hurt themselves, and that could be considered a robbery as well. So now I'm going to give you guys some theft prevention tips to, again, learn how to protect your property and yourself. So when you're at home, and this counts whether you're in the dorm, in an apartment, or in a house, but always the number one tip is to make sure that you keep your door locked. Whether you're there or not there, make sure that you keep that door locked. Do not prop open the door and allow someone else to follow you in. When we're talking about the dorms, I know it can seem very difficult to, or it's very difficult to open the, swipe access into the dorm, walk in, and then if somebody's right behind you, not to hold the door open for them. It feels like you're being rude by shutting the door on them and making them use their own card access. But really, when you do that, you're showing that you care about the people within your dorm. Make sure that you are allowing the only access to people to the dorm are people that are supposed to have access to it. Make sure you have those conversations with your roommates. Let them know who you allow to be in that dorm or in your room when you're not there. And then make sure that you keep your stuff secure and out of sight and out of the way. So make sure that you're not leaving your cell phone, laptop, earbuds, anything like that, out on the desk, on your bed. Make sure that you're keeping that stuff away. A good investment is probably a safe where you can keep maybe like money, identifying information, things like that. Maybe even a little bit bigger safe where you can actually lock your laptop or something like that in. But just make sure that you're keeping that stuff out of the way. And do not loan your keys to anyone. You don't want anybody to have access to your stuff or your roommate's stuff. And then know the serial numbers and description of your valuables. One thing that I personally like to do is take pictures of stuff. So I'll take a picture of the item and then maybe the serial number. So personally, I'm an avid cyclist. So I'll take a picture of my bike and then I'll flip it over and take a picture of the serial number, making sure that I can see the entire serial number in the photo. And then that just sits away in my Google Photos. That way, if something were to happen, I have a picture of the bike itself and then of the serial number. So I'm not having to scrounge around and try to find the piece of paper that I wrote it on. I mean, we all know that we keep our phones with us all the time. And so I have quick access to that. Now, when you're out, do not leave your property unattended or assume someone else will watch it. You step away for a restroom break or to grab something to drink or to grab some food or just to maybe stretch your legs. Make sure you take your property with you. I know that can take that extra few minutes to gather up your stuff and put it in your bag to walk to go do like a small errand or something. But remember that you're leaving a, multiple hundred or even $1,000, couple $1,000 laptop out. Make sure that you take that with you, because it's not worth it to have that item taken. Sometimes we have what we call crimes of opportunity. It's where a thief was out, and maybe they weren't necessarily looking to steal. They didn't go out that day to steal a laptop or to steal a phone. They were in an area and they saw, maybe a laptop was plugged in, sitting there with nobody around it. They're able to quickly take it and go on about their way. So make sure that you're kind of limiting that opportunity for those thieves. And then don't carry your social security card around with you. If you get your social security card in your wallet stolen, they then have most likely your driver's license or state issued ID, which is going to have your full name, it's going to have your date of birth, it's going to have your address, and if they have your social security on that card in that wallet as well, then that's going to give them pretty much whatever they need to be able to access lines of credit in your name. And then limit the number of credit cards that you carry. And there's a couple of reasons for this. If you carry, say, 10 to 12 credit cards on you, and somebody steals your entire wallet or your entire purse, then are you going to remember every one of those credit cards that you need to call and cancel? And then another thing is that if you have your wallet or your purse laying out and somebody steals maybe just one card instead of the entire wallet, are you going to realize that that one card is missing? You most likely will not realize it until you start receiving your statements in the mail and you see additional charges on your cards. So for me personally, I carry 2 different cards. I carry a Discover card and I carry my bank card. That way, if my wallet's stolen, I know those are 2 cards I got to cancel. Also, if I look at my wallet at any time, I will realize if one of those cards is missing. So I do have, a Home Depot card, a Lowe's card for all those home projects I'm always working on. So I make sure that if I need one, I take it out of my safe, I go and I use it, and then when I come back home, it goes right back in the safe and lock it up. So I know that it's there if I need it, but I don't have it with me in case something were to happen. And then limit the amount of cash that you carry. And a lot of people ask, they say, what's a good amount to carry? And the honest answer is how much you're willing to lose. Because if you look at things like your credit card, if you have unauthorized purchases, you'll most likely be able to get that refunded. With cash, there's no one you can report it to that you can get that cash back. Once it's gone unless somebody was nice enough to find it and turn it in or something like that. So with cash, there's a lot bigger chance of you not ever having that returned to you. And then always remember that no property is worth your life. So with your vehicles, same thing. Biggest thing is to keep your doors locked. Criminals typically won't break glass because they're not going to want to bring that additional attention to them. Here on the UNC campus, we have a lot of people in the square mileage that we have. So if somebody's making a lot of noise or something and there's a lot of eyes out, there's a good chance that the police will be called on them. And a majority of the car burglaries that we had, the vehicles were unlocked. We'd go back, there would be no forced entry, and somebody had just walked up and kind of checked door handles and found one that was open, went in there and found what they could. Hide your valuables or take them with you. So with your valuables, make sure that if you don't take them with you, you try to hide them, make sure you hide them well, either in the trunk or under the seat. If you hide them under the seat, make sure they're completely hid with underneath the seat. If a criminal walks up and looks into your car and they see a back strap hanging out or a purse strap or something like that, then they think, well, hey, they just tried to hide this, so there's probably something really good in there. Make sure you take your keys with you. Keep your keys with you at all times. Don't leave them in your dorm, in your residence, because you want somebody to have access to them as well. And then don't leave chargers or cables plugged in or hanging out, because again, it shows that there may be something more valuable in that vehicle. And then keep your car clean and tidy, so criminals can see and they can realize that there's nothing to take. If they look in there in the car, there's a lot of clutter, maybe bags, clothes, backpacks, things like that. They look in there and they see a lot of stuff, then they think that there may be something more valuable in there, and it may take that extra risk to access your vehicle. Whereas if they look in there, they see there's nothing of value, they see no clothes, they see no backpacks, they see no envelopes, nothing like that. It's nothing that may have even identifying information to it, then they're less likely to try to access your vehicle because they see that it's not worth the risk. So with bicycles, always lock your bike, and preferably with a U-lock. We say either a U-lock or a heavy-duty chain. If you do not have a U-lock and you're a UNT student, you can come to the PD. We'll engrave your bike with your driver's license number or state ID number and give you a free U-lock. Those are provided by the We Being Green Fund. With your quick release items, those are usually wheels and seats that are, it's great for being able to change a tire or to adjust your seat. But it's horrible for theft prevention because it means somebody can take those items pretty quickly. So if you can lock it, like the quick release item as well, make sure that you're locking it to bike racks, not to trees or railings, things like that. And then don't leave it locked for a prolonged period of time. Make sure that you move it every now and again. If a thief is out kind of looking, canvassing the area, they may notice a bike in the same area day after day, month after month, and then they'll think that most likely that owner is not taking account or paying attention to that bike, so they'll go in. It gives them a chance of not being caught. And then this goes back to the same other stuff, is know the make, model, and serial number. So take a picture of the bike, flip it over, and take a picture of the serial number. So we have a couple of photos of properly locking. So if you see that they've got right here, they've got the U-lock to the bike rack through the frame. So make sure that you go through that middle triangle of the frame. That will help make sure you keep the frame secured. And then here they've got it locked. They've got the U-lock going through the frame and then through the front wheel, because that front wheel is probably quick release. So that locks the wheel to it. And then they've got just a cable lock here running the rear wheel. And that helps. So you've got the rear wheel locked to the frame, the front wheel locked to the frame, and they're both, and then the frame is locked to the bike rack. Here's the other option. If you don't have two locks, you can remove, say, your front wheel with the quick release, move it to the back, and then run the U-lock through both wheels, the frame, and the bike rack. If you have any questions about properly securing your bike, please come talk to me and I will run through all of that stuff with you. So when you're at work, if you have an office door that you can lock, make sure that you keep it locked when you're not there, when you're gone. Any kind of delay of access to property will help keep it secure. Do not leave valuables in unsecured locations. So make sure that you're not leaving if you can't lock your door or you don't have a door, make sure that you're not leaving your purse, computer, phone, things like that out on the desk. Make sure you're locking it in your cabinets, in your drawers, things like that. Create an office or building watch program with coworkers. So make sure that everybody's watching out for everybody else's stuff. Make sure you build that relationship with your coworkers, that they feel like if they see somebody, they can either say, hey, is there something I can help you with? Or that they'll make contact with you and let you know that somebody's in your office. When using the phone for personal calls, you never know who's listening, so make sure that you're in a secure location. So if you're giving out maybe personal information or using a purchase, or you're using a credit card number or something like that, if you can, make sure you lock your door. Just go somewhere or be somewhere that you're not as concerned about eavesdroppers, right, that people could be listening. And then always make sure that you keep your computer screen locked when you're not there. So some resources and next steps. So register your property if you can. There's multiple different reports. There's Leads Online, report it at Leads Online or other areas. For me personally, photos work better than anything. I don't have to log into anything to add it. I can just take my phone out, which again, most of us have our phone with us most of the time, majority of the time. So I can take a quick picture of the item, quick picture of the serial number. It's in my Google Photos. It's there. I don't really have to worry about it. Engrave your property is another great thing. We do engravings here. We'll engrave and give you a U-lock on your bike. But if you have a laptop or phone or a skateboard or anything you want me to engrave, I'll engrave it. You won't necessarily be able to get a U-lock, but I will be able to engrave it. So, and then that's just information to be able to prove that that's yours, especially if you have something that doesn't already have a serial number. So like skateboards we often get because a lot of times they don't have serial numbers. So we'll be able to engrave the truck, and then you will have that information as kind of proof that that's your skateboard. And usually we use your driver's license number or state ID. So make sure that you track your property. Phones have phone finders. Make sure you have that stuff set up, ready to use if you need it. So here's some, if this happens, then do this. So if you're robbed or if you're in a dangerous situation, get yourself out of that situation. First and foremost, get yourself away from it. And then as soon as you're out to a safe place, call 911 immediately. If you discover a theft after the fact, say your purse is missing from your desk, or if you notice, a couple weeks later that your bike is missing from where you locked it, you can either report that crime online at police.unt.edu. You can call 911, or you can call 565-3000. And then if it was your purse or something like that, make sure you go ahead and take the first steps to start calling and canceling your credit cards. And then if you see somebody suspicious on campus, say there's a person checking door handles or hanging out around a particular area, it's just concerning to you, then call 911 immediately, and give us a good description and including the location. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. My name again is Officer David Causey. I'm the Community Relations Officer with the University of North Texas Police Department. My email is here, david.causey@unt.edu, as well as my office number, or you can come to the PD and see me at any time. We're at 1700 Wilshire Street, across the street from Mozart Hall. If you need anything, let me know. I'd be glad to help you guys out. And thank you so much for your time, and hope you have a great day. Thank you, guys.